Well, police have used stun grenades and rubber bullets, we understand, in an attempt to disperse protesters in two towns in Dikgatlong Municipality. This is in the Northern Cape province. Residents of Barkley West and nearby Delportshoop are blocking the R31 road between the towns in protest over Eskom's power cuts. The residents here blame the municipality for not paying its 60 million rand debt owed to the power utility. Well, our reporter Neo Budumela was in the midst of those protests. She joins us live now. Good afternoon, Neo. How volatile is the situation right now?
Good afternoon, Krishni. It's not quite volatile now. Police have managed to calm down the situation. The residents that were protesting were dispersed at the time when the police used stun grenades and rubber bullets to disperse them. But I can say that the R31 between Barkley West and Delportshoop is still closed with rocks and burning tires, Krishni.
Now, we are approaching nightfall already. How visible were police in the area right now? And do they have enough reinforcements on the ground to cope with the numbers of protesters if this should flare up again overnight?
Indeed, where we were, we found that there were many police officers. They were in bakkies. There was even a hippo, what you would call a hippo police van that was there, and there were police on foot patrol as well. We also saw a lot of public order police on the scene, and we expect that they should keep it calm from now overnight. Krishni.
You were following this protest for much of the day. How would you say police coped up until this point in terms of crowd control, in terms of crowd management, and how much of force did they have to use to disperse the crowd a little while earlier now?
In the morning, they had to use quite a lot of force because the protesters were approaching them, and as the police tried to speak to the protesters, they had to disperse. They had to let out a stun grenade because the protesters started throwing rocks at the police, and the police had to go right into the location or into the township to try and calm down the protesters. And what we found was that after the stun grenades and after the rubber bullets were fired, the protesters calmed down, but again they went into the townships. The protesters went into the townships and attempted to loot from shops, but that was quickly clamped down by the police on the scene, Krishni.
Neo, has there been any reaction from municipal officials at this point, or the power utility itself?
Well, we attempted to speak to the municipal manager, Mr. Andrew Modise, but he told us that he's currently in a meeting. For the whole day he's been in a meeting, and he indicated that the only time that he'd be willing to comment is tomorrow morning. As for Eskom indicated that they until an agreement is reached, these power interruptions will continue. And in fact, they say that from Monday, if an agreement is not reached on Monday, we are Barkley West and Delportshoop will be experiencing up to 14 hours of power interruptions, Krishni.
14 hours of power interruptions every day. Has this message been communicated to protesters right now, and how have they digested this news? Indeed,
this message has been sent out to them. As you know, Eskom has put out adverts in newspapers as well as on the radio. They know about the impending 14-hour shutdown. In fact, this morning, protesters were saying, how is the municipality going to service the 60 million rand debt now before Monday when the 14-hour power cuts come, Krishni?
Now, we just want to get a sense of how much engagement or consultation there has been between the municipality and residents thus far.
Yesterday, Krishni, we were told by the residents this morning that yesterday there was a meeting for all residents of Dikgatlong yesterday with the municipality. And what the residents intimated to us this morning, they said that in fact the municipality told them that this is the cuts are coming and they cannot afford to service the 60 million rand debt. So the residents will have to live with the 14-hour power cuts, Krishni.
Well, that was our reporter, Neo Budumela, coming to us. She's, of course, been following the protest action at the Dikgatlong Municipality in the Northern Cape, where residents will now have to expect 14 hours of power interruptions come Monday. Well, Peter